Hey, what's going on? I'm Jim, and I'm doing these videos at random now, and there's not really any kind of association as to what they're about. I want to try to get more educational with my videos, less entertainment oriented, more educationally oriented. In the background you're hearing Mick Ronson. Mick Ronson was the lead guitar for David Bowie for a long time when he was with the Spiders from Mars. And then he went on to play with Mott the Hoople, either before or after Ariel Bender. And it's unbelievable, because Mick Ronson's an unbelievable songwriter. I mean, I'm listening to these songs that he wrote that everybody else recorded, and you never knew that Mick Ronson had done these songs, because he was so underrated and so in the background all the time. But every song that he wrote, another group did, and got a great big hit out of it. And it's because he chose to be in the background. It wasn't because of his talent and stuff. He just chose to be in the background. He didn't want to be in the limelight because maybe he knew something that the superstar didn't know. But anyway, this is a real old album. It's like almost 30 years old, and his genius just shines in it. It's one of his first solo albums. And anyway, again, that's Mick Ronson. I'm gonna turn it down just a touch. Anyway, we're talking about these. We're talking about all these, these invalid parameters. And of course, the one video I just did came up invalid parameters, so it didn't get published. And then I did another one. It was just kind of an impromptu medley of different songs and stuff like that. And I guess we're going to just continue with these invalid parameters type thing, One of the people who influenced me a lot, probably influenced a lot of people, was this person right here. And of course everybody knows that's Jim Morrison. And Jim Morrison was a lot more than a singer. Of course, people who follow Jim Morrison know that. And we talked about censorship a little bit. And Jim Morrison was the one who really tested the boundaries of censorship. And his downfall, so to speak, was actually performing a sexual act during a live concert, and which was really a trip because he had done this a lot before he was famous and nobody thought anything about it. It was just part of Jim Morrison's presentation or whatever. I mean, you just knew that if you went to see Jim Morrison, you didn't sit in the front row. If you did, you had a raincoat on. Seriously, I mean, he did this all the time. This thing that he's famous for now, But it pretty much killed his career because he was testing the limitations of censorship, and he just went too far. He went farther than anybody ever had gone, And of course, Frank Zappa, at the Whiskey A Go Go, he wheeled a toilet out on the stage and took a crap in front of the audience, and he got past that because not only was he making a social statement, but he was also saying, these people are so minimal in their thinking that anything can entertain them. That's basically what he was really saying, and he proved it by taking a crap on stage. He also was applauded for it in Sweden because Sweden, of course, was way ahead in the censorship laws and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, Jim Morrison, he was very anti-censor, and his lyrics are just unbelievable. And the thing that never came out because he didn't live long enough, he died when he was 28, was that he was really a threat to the government and to society per se, because, i.e. the people with the money, because if you really listen to his lyrics, he really gets into some heavy topics and stuff like that, I mean, he goes past Light My Fire and stuff. When the Music's Over is just an unbelievable song. In fact, I got that censored on YouTube. I did a presentation with When the Music's Over in the background, and I actually, it was the first one that ever came up, failed to convert invalid parameters. And it was an excellent video, and it had like special effects in it and strobe lighting and everything, but they would publish the visual portion of it, but they said they couldn't publish the audio portion because I hadn't got permission to do the music, right? But then I go to another site, a more popular site, and here's like a Jim Morrison song playing in the background while they're doing their thing up front, you know? So I'm going like, well, you know, there goes that argument, you know? I mean, basically what it was is it was just too controversial in the lyrics, and they didn't, you know, and they didn't pass it. So I told my son, right? And he goes, Dad, it's probably a hater. It's probably somebody who doesn't like what you're doing, or they're jealous of what you're doing because it's so creative and everything. And I said, you know, Tyrus, I don't want that pat answer. I don't want that easy way out. You know, that people are jealous of my stuff, or they just hate my stuff for that reason. You know, I mean, sure, if it reaches them on a different level, on a mental level, and they're rebelling against that part of it, that's fine. But I think that's really a pat answer, you know. That's it. Everybody takes that easy way out. Oh, you're jealous of my talent. You're jealous of my beauty. You're jealous of, you know, my presentation. You know, you're jealous. You know, and then you just dismiss. You just dismiss why something didn't happen. You know, when the truth is maybe you know, maybe there's actually some validity to the reason they didn't want to read your stuff or listen to your stuff or look at your stuff or, you know, or something. You know, but you never explore that avenue because your ego says, oh, well, they're just jealous of me, you know, that type of thing. And I think that's really a pat answer and an easy way out, and I don't think you should do that. You know, I think if somebody gives you a comment, you know, if you take offense at it, then really look into yourself and say, well, you know, why did I take offense at it? You know, that type of thing. I mean, what was this person really trying to say? Did I really hear what this person was trying to say? And I try to do that all the time when I, you know, do my stuff. But it's like when I'm doing these videos, you know, I'm hoping that I'm reaching a certain audience. And I know I'm not going to reach everybody. But I really don't want to reach everybody. Because if I reached everybody, then I'd be doing something wrong. See? And it's like sometimes you do something, and sometimes you know why you're doing it, and sometimes you don't know why you're doing it. And a lot of YouTube is people don't know why they're doing it. But see, every time I do something on YouTube, I know why I'm doing it. I know that there's an audience out there that wants to hear what I have to say. And even if they're a minority, they're still my audience. And they're the same people who share all the different views and opinions that I have too, see? So those are the people I'm trying to reach. The rest of the people, I don't even care if I reach them, you know, because they're not my audience. They're not the people who are going to actually try to change things and make a difference in all this kind of stuff. You know, they're the kind of people who want to entertain and who want to have their ego fed and who want to be told how wonderful they are and all that kind of stuff. And I really don't want to reach those people, you know. I'm looking for a completely different audience, you know. And if you think you're up to it, then, you know, hang in there with me for a while. It's like David Byrne, you know, when he left the Talking Heads and he started going in that other direction, that kind of Latin salsa jazz type stuff. And they said, well, you know, you were so popular when you were with the Talking Heads, but your fans don't seem to get this Latin jazz salsa thing you're doing. And he just told him, he says, hey, I'm still David Byrne. I'm still the creative person that you guys liked and everything. I'm still the musical genius that you guys, you know, paid money to see and stuff. He says, you enjoyed the ride I took you on for over 10 years. All I'm saying is don't jump out of the car, you know, stay with me for a while and take this new ride with me, and I promise you'll like it, you know. And pretty much that's what I'm saying. It's like my stuff isn't like the regular stuff you're going to see on YouTube. But hey, you know, hang in there for a while. You know, really, you know, try to hear what I'm trying to tell you. And I promise you're going to like it. And again, we're coming to the invalid parameters. Like I said, I've already lost part 4 of this because of invalid parameters, which is pretty much, you know, they just don't have to give an explanation. They just put that tag on it, and then they don't have to publish it. So anyway, this is going to 9:50, so I'm going to end it there.